Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Well, we've had some wet weather the last few hours. It's been raining quite a bit. It's kind of stopped. Possibly going to get some more today. We'll see, but nothing too severe. Yesterday we did get quite a bit. At least the periods of rain that we did get, they were very, very heavy and a lot of lightning, but no damage that I know of in this area. So that's all good. An update on the Texas flooding. It's just continually tragic news. The death toll has now risen to about 82, the last that I checked. I mean, it's constantly changing, so it may be different by the time you watch this. But the bottom line is it's bad, and there's likely to be more. There's still 40-some people or so that are missing. There have been a couple of hundred people that's been rescued and saved. But a lot of destruction there. It's interesting. It's now coming out. I mean, local people may know this, but that this actually happened once before, back in 1987. There's newsreels of it. This is, like I've said continually, a very flood-prone area. It does happen. This is unusual. This is something that only happens ever so often. But the back in 1987, it was so similar. It was actually a church camp that got washed away, and there's a video of children from the church camp up in trees, clinging for their life, waiting to be saved. So probably officials need to, and whether government or camp officials, need to be rethinking some stuff, because this just shouldn't be happening. So anyways, aside from that kind of news, the rest of it, I don't know if I'm a little, I don't know. I'm not saying that there's joy in it, but this is interesting. I'm sure most of you know by now, but last night news broke that the Justice Department, the Department of Justice, the FBI under the Department of Justice, released a memo that about Jeffrey Epstein, that there is no evidence whatsoever that he had a client list. There's no evidence whatsoever that that he blackmailed people, and all the evidence points to himself, not Hillary Clinton, but himself. They released 10 or 11 hours of video footage in the jail cell, showing that no one came in. This is after years of hearing that there was no video, that the video was damaged and all this. This is also after hearing from Pam Bondi back in February that the Epstein list was on her desk waiting for, to be cleared. It just on and on and on and on. Now, I know that some of you are going to say, yeah, but this memo could be faked. It's connected directly. You can pull it off of the Department of Justice's website. And because this is such a big deal, and it's gotten so much intense trending since it happened, if it was a mistake or fake, would not someone from the Justice Department, the FBI, the White House, someone jump up and say, whoa, 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 this is fake? They're not. So another promise makes you really wonder who's on that list. I mean, either we've been played for years to believe that there was something there and there wasn't, or we're being played right now. So which is it? And they've not been very clear on anything. This is a big old mess, and I'm not here to beat up the Trump administration. I get beat up often enough for that. Yesterday, the video I made yesterday, man, people lost their minds because the title was, "It's Time I Switched Parties," right? Didn't watch the video. The video had nothing to do with political parties. I never said anything about switching political parties because I'm a complete independent. But a lot of people get very upset. So I'm not here to necessarily bash the Trump administration or Donald Trump himself, but when will people start thinking for themselves? Kind of like the point that I was making yesterday in my video. Quit listening to the masses, quit listening to the talking heads, to the algorithms, and start thinking for themselves. Probably a lot of people never will. But there's definitely there definitely has to be a whole lot more to this. I mean, you know, if Ghislaine Maxwell, if this is all true, then why is she in prison? Might as well free her. It's absurd, right? Now, I suspect what's going to happen, especially in the MAGA group, is that they're going to throw Pam Bondi, probably Kash Patel, maybe even Dan Bongino under the bus, blame it all on them. Maybe one of them will lose their job, and we'll move on. The truth is that they work for Donald Trump, and this was either approved by the White House, or he made bad decisions once again, hiring rogue people that, you know, are working against him, and he's lost control of the Justice Department. As of yet, there's been nothing from the White House to counter this or to rebuke this in any way. So for now, we have to believe that this is what they want. I mean, Donald Trump is their boss. He can make changes. So we'll see. Now, what I really, really want to get to, and I know there's some of you that couldn't care less about Jeffrey Epstein, and some of you maybe just want to talk all day about it. For us as preppers, I think that we need to be a little bit more on guard over the next coming days, because it's very likely that something will happen to distract us from this. This is big. This is really, really big. And so my question is what are they distracting us from, or what will be distracted from this? What will happen that will distract us from this? Because this is going to, as it grows, it's very possible that it could look really, really bad for, you know, the president and MAGA, right on the heels of Elon Musk starting a new party, supposedly. There's already a lot of talk that this could splinter the MAGA, you know, group even more. So either Trump has to denounce this and order the list, you know, to be released and all the files released, or something's going to have to happen to distract from this. And to me, that sounds more likely. There is a lot of stuff going on. The Yemenis struck an oil tanker that is sinking in the Red Sea. Israel struck back. Trump is very upset with Putin and Russia that things are not going there, that Putin is not seeming to be willing to work with the United States and Ukraine. So it's very possible that the United States is going to ramp up their support of Ukraine once again. A lot of stuff is going on, a lot of stuff. And I just, whether or not the Epstein list is really the be all end all thing, I've said all along, no one's ever going to see it. No average person is ever going to see that list. If there is such a list, and it does contain the things that people have suspected over the years, and there have been things that's been released that were claimed to be the list, they don't know. No one's ever going to see that list. I've said that for years now. Way back when Trump was, you know, campaigning and promising that, I kept telling people, you're not going to see that list. It's not going to happen. It's been a big old psyop. It's either distracting us from something, but I suspect the big thing is that we will be distracted from this in the coming days, maybe a week or two. So I would get ready. I mean, I could absolutely, totally be wrong on this. And if that's the case, I'll get on here and I'll say, hey, I was wrong. I've done it before. But this is kind of a big deal. And I know that some people are already, you know, lining up and saying, oh, no, we still support Trump and MAGA. There's you know, bad people inside the system. Well, why isn't Trump immediately? I mean, he posts, you know, tweets and stuff at 2 or 3 in the morning. Why wasn't he immediately, you know, rebuking this, saying things online? He wasn't. Where was the White House immediately coming out and saying, whoa, you know, this is wrong. We're going to start our own investigation and get to the bottom of this. Nothing. And yes, it could happen, but something this big, I would think they would want to do it almost immediately. Trump posts his little online tweets or whatever they're called pretty much immediately when stuff happens. And there was nothing last night due to this. So this is going to be a big deal. And I suspect there'll be a big deal, that could happen to distract us from this. So I would encourage you to be ready. You're going to see a lot of stuff online. Remember what I said yesterday. Things are either fake or they're orchestrated to get you to believe a certain way. This is not new. I mean, newspapers have been doing this for centuries, since newspapers existed. This is not new. It's just easier now because of the internet, and it's so big and everyone is plugged into it so much. So be aware that in the end, we're all being played. A big orchestrated psyop. And the internet, the people on the internet, and I'm not saying that everyone that posts something, that makes a video are bad, but a lot of times the algorithm is swaying. It's showing you this stuff and not showing you this stuff. That's been proven over and over again on things like Facebook and Twitter and stuff, where people have become, more left-leaning, more right-leaning, more extremist, all this kind of stuff, because the system is purposely showing you things. So be aware of that. Pray for discernment and get ready. Folks, it's time to get your houses in order and to prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.